Here. And on that note, welcome to the NFL Draft Preview. So we are rolling back the clock, otherwise known as rolling the highlight. And I said on the intro of the description page, we have a surprise guest. Well, I'm going to open up it now. Ladies and gentlemen, wait a minute. Did Emerson disconnect? I'm going to set him a little way. He disconnected. Alrighty. Give me a bit. Something happened. As usual. As you're saying.
We were having technical difficulties in our last podcast.
Did you decide not do it? All right. So I don't know what happened there.
Much some CV.
Something must have happened. So we are going over the
For just resend the link.
I did. So I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll get back to it in a moment. Today we're going to talk about the Bills and how we think they're going to draft. Hopefully get Emerson's take on Tom Brady leaving the Patriots. Yeah. So how are you doing?
Great. First off, I want to apologize to our viewers for last week, the debacle there on the podcast. Obviously there were some technical issues with that podcast. We were going to redo the podcast for the Ben Watt part 1 and 2. It was kind of disappointing that we couldn't get the podcast out like we should. Normally, we never have these sort of issues, but last week was just kind of a struggle. And quite frankly, our fans deserve better than have interruptions with the our podcast. Just we were, as I said, we just the technical issues, with our internet. What the internet was giving us fits, and unfortunately, we had to cancel had to back out of the stream because it just kept getting more and more
It just I lost connection.
Yeah, well, as I'm saying,
my camera, something happened.
Did you use up the pepper?
I don't think so.
Back on. Okay, he's back on.
Yeah, there he is. What happened to you?
My computer just died on me. That's why.
Oh, no.
I don't know if
We were just talking about technical issues.
Last week we were trying to do a podcast on the Vice's documentary of Chris Benoit. It was recording, and we just lost it last week. So
yeah.
What's going on here? I think we're
Oh,
So what ended up happening is there was this ringing, and then all of a sudden everything just like shut down, and then I couldn't hear you guys. So I had to use the tablet here pretty much, and this is what I have now to use. So I'm not using a laptop, but this works, and it's I can hear you guys, so that's good. So.
Improvisation's perfect.
Well, technology sucks sometimes. You know how that goes. I
Yeah.
was making this huge introduction, and then I turned to the two of you, and I checked, and it's like, what happened?
Right, I know. It was. Well, sorry about that. It's okay. Well, you can get. Okay. All right. Whatever. Hang on a second, guys. I'm getting
All right,
complained
hi,
at.
Mom.
My bad.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
Sorry, you're just talking really loud.
Okay.
Yeah,
OG.
if I'm too loud, sorry. I can hear it.
She's
I
so
know that feeling.
All right. I'm back. All right. Sorry, guys.
No, we're. It's kind of feel like a little retro JF and E podcast here, except we're
Southtown Sports Podcast. This I was going to say that because usually we have a cousin Quigley
insert.
a guy named Justin Cerny. I gotta admit, they do not like statistics.
Yeah.
If you saw one of my previous episodes, I threw the papers out the window or in the garage.
That was the most epic. That was the
Oh,
most
wow.
epic podcast where he literally got mad. He got mad. It's like, who needs statistics? We're gonna need statistics today here, so it's gonna be a whole different story than what it was. That was Fred just absolutely lost it. It was
Well, what have you guys been doing the past hour? Did you guys watch Pulling Cars at all, or did you guys just avoid that stuff?
I can watch him for a certain amount of time, and then it's like anything else. I'm watching Como, and it's like I gotta tune it off after a while.
hey, no politics here. This is not about politics. We're doing a sports show.
Yes.
It's okay.
No.
So what do you guys thinking for the show? What you have your
This
list,
is the
Fred?
NFL.
I have my list. So before you got back on, we were talking about the NFL draft. More specifically, we're talking about players the Bills can select. What I did was compose a list of all the picks, and I did about 4 mock drafts of what I think the Bills can take. Based on a couple different websites, it may not be the exact player that was selected in the number, but I figured what the value would be. So,
Right. I'm thinking for the Bills, to go next to Singletary, they might need a running back, but you can always pick someone up like that in the fourth round, fifth round on day 3, and not have to overpay and stuff like that. But I know one thing, they built the offensive lineup, which was good. Probably try to build a little bit of the interior. I know Shaq's gone and stuff like that. Just kind of continue to try to up the defense in some capacity through the draft. And maybe also too, another thing that Allen could use him now that he has Stephon Diggs. Maybe going after a tight end in the draft would be a decent way to look. You know what I mean? Just to kind of utilize the middle of the field for Allen. You know what I mean? If he has to kind of pull the ball down, there's always a safety blanket. As long as you're smart with it. So.
see, I disagree with you on that because they already got Dawson Knox, who had a decent season last year. For what pick was it? His 5th, 6th round pick or 4th round pick? And then you still got Tommy Sweeney, I think, can have a breakout late year. So I think you're set on tie-in.
The right back, yeah, I think like you said, 4th round, 3rd or 4th round would probably be the spot. I think, but what right about the trade for Stephon Diggs, you could have the best position available. So offensive line, I would 2nd round. I mean, you could still get a wide receiver in the 3rd round as well. But I think someone that can be a couple years down the road here, as opposed to given this new normal we're living right now, get, that's why the step out trade. This is not a normal circumstance. Otherwise, I think in normal circumstances, I think they would have drafted in the first round for the right route. But because Stephon is a proven commodity, that kind of adds insurance here. But I still think probably wide receiver in the third round would probably my choice. Often, but I mean, but of course, who never knows? They could trade back into the first round. I think for one report that Arizona was possibly looking to trade both their first round picks to try to get back in the draft. So you could possibly get back in the first. I'm not saying they're going to do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if with the wide receiver core too, they could possibly sneak one in the first round as well. So back in the first round, we don't know. I mean, but of course, it's a virtual draft this year. So this is going to be whether or not I think they're still in a good position no matter what you do. You could keep your picks or move up in the draft. It doesn't really matter to me. I think this is just going to be the best position available type draft in the Bills. I think
I agree. You have to look at it with the addition of Diggs, the continuity that they brought in last year. They have John Brown and Cole Beasley, and again, under your second or third year of Dable, you expect hopefully, I shouldn't say hopefully, you want Josh Allen to grow even more, improve, be one of the best QBs in the league, despite some of his deficiencies. However, I'm looking at it as yes, best place positions available. Also, I'm looking at all parts. But before we get into that, gentlemen, it's been about a month since the Tom Brady 3-6 ended, and we never got your official take on number one, Tom Brady Tampa Bay. Number two, the media reports that of Belichick and Brady from the what's the name articles?
it was the same guy that did the
Deflategate.
Oh, Seth Wickersham.
Wickersham. Yeah, that's right. Seth Wickersham. Her name escaped my head faster than a balloon.
And what do you think on Jared Stidham and Brian Hoyer? And we could also get into if the Brady's. I had said the Brady's, the Patriots.
This just feels a lot.
Well, I do have a good point to add to that. So, with that other Seth Wickersham article, a lot of this frustration that was taking place, it really goes back to the Super Bowl against the Eagles, actually. And apparently, like Brady throws for 500 yards, but they benched Malcolm Butler. And that was a big. I don't think we ever really understood.
That was I thought it was the Atlanta game, or no, that wasn't the Atlanta. What was it?
Philadelphia game.
Okay, you're right. You're Philadelphia.
Yeah. So what ended up happening is apparently in the article, when they benched Malcolm Butler and they throw for 500 yards, but then eventually they end up, he ends up getting strip sacked and then they lose the game. Apparently, when Belichick addressed the team the next day when they're back, supposedly Brady had his head down, according to this article, and said, he was basically telling people around the building that I don't know if I really want to come back here, or maybe to the point where he was like, I'm really done with this place. And what ended up happening is also, too, that's why he ended up skipping a lot of the OTAs and the off-season workout programs, because according to this guy, he was an author. His name was Ian O'Connor. He wrote a book called, I think, Belichick or whatever. And apparently, according to Ian O'Connor, Brady was very close even 2 years ago to not even coming back and wanting to play for Belichick. Like, he was at that point, like, I don't even know if it's worth it at this point. The Patriot way, like, we work our asses off to get to the end, and like this is how it's kind of happens. You bench our like leading defender for that, and I think he really contemplated not playing, but I think even what I've seen in recent weeks, he was interviewed by Howard Stern. I'm sure you guys saw that. Apparently, Brady, even going into last season, kind of knew this was probably going to be it, and he sort of knew like the time was coming to an end. And I look back at certain things, like even when he was really frustrated with the receivers, like about people not being able to create separation, because Edelman was the only really go-to. He was kind of, I think,
arrested in
was that?
California. He got arrested in California. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Edelman. I'm just not a fan of him, but anyway.
But long story short, he kind of was venting a lot of the frustration, and I think even when they lost that wild card game against the Tennessee, there was a sense of relief, like, you know what, I can just kind of do what I want from now on. I'm going to be a free agent, and I think it was just inevitable he was going to go. I think people were really thinking like the best way to go is New England, but I think his heart was really out of it at that point. So, you know, I mean, we'll see what happens in Tampa Bay. If whatever kind of season we have going forward, we'll see. And so, you know, in August, maybe September. But yeah, I think it was just inevitable he was going to go. I don't think he was going to come back at all. So we'll see. And then with what's up? Go ahead, Fred.
Even with the Jimmy G
Mhm.
debacle, I mean, that's just like the start of it. Other than placating everything, and to me personally, you would think that all those scandals that happened under Belichick and Brady's tenure probably could have weighed on Brady as well. Like,
Oh yeah.
too. Like, as much as I am not a fan of Tom Brady when he was with New England, because there was a lot of smugness, there was a lot of like questions as the Bills fan that Tom Brady, is a cheater, and he because of with the footballs, and then Spygate, the Belichick stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in Tampa Bay. Where
Yeah.
it was all a fluke, or is he really the greatest quarterback of all time?
Well, that kind of goes back to the debate about who's better, Brady or Belichick here.
Mhm.
And the last, that had some role into it. It's like, is this part of who's really better, Brady or Belichick here? I think that kind of also played whatever sort of friction between Brady and Belichick was going on here. I think you got from Brady's side, but after a certain point, you wish if I were Tom Brady, I wish I would feel appreciated by the Patriots. I've been taking all the pay cuts, I've been taking all the sacrifices. At a certain point, when does that sacrifice pay off here? When do I feel really appreciated? I think that's what sort of feeling. Now he was taking the high run as races, but at a certain point, if Belichick really wanted Brady back, he would have. But kind of you said, to go back to confused with the Jimmy Garoppolo, Tom has always been the guy who always cuts people a year too soon, they're already too late, and
Right.
there's had to be underlying intention, as you know. I think, as you said, Brady got tired of the Patriots way, where he wanted, where he wished he would have had some more fun, where it would be more of a fun environment. Instead, it's kind of the same old boring environment. And after a while, just like anything in life, you get so certain things get sort of stale that you're like, I'm needing changes here, some fresh air. I think that's it's besides who's it's not so much it's he just wanted to have some fun. I think being in Tampa Bay is kind of like with Bruce Arians. I think it's a new sense of fresh air for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I don't think the Patriots are winning the match. In fact, as I said before a couple episodes ago, that I think the Bills are going to be 13-3 this season. I gave
Wow.
him the 13. That's
Mhm.
you're, hey, I know that smile for a second. It's not here. Well, bring it to the division. But I clearly think that I don't see the Dolphins are clear to have a brand new quarterback. The Jets can't trust one single name. I don't think the Patriots. Well, wait a minute. There's 3 wild cards, so they make it a wild card spot. But I just don't see being better than the Bills right now. At this, unless they make some major trade in the offseason. But Jared Stidham, no way.
We'll see.
I'm not.
We'll see.
That's
But,
what you did say. I'm saying
Oh,
no.
no. Well,
There
I
we go.
think.
There we go.
Oh no! I mean, I'm not really as much of a Patriots fan anymore now that he's moved on. So.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I will break it to you right here.
Dan Myers would not be happy with
Wow.
Biggest
Biggest bandwagon jumper I've ever seen.
I know. I'm just reading something.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just reading something on Jared Stidham here. I think they feel as though he's confident he could lead according to different people. Like I know Stephon Gilmore, Devin McCourty said, like I think, yeah, I know. We'll see. We'll see what he says.
Stephon Gilmore can lead a bus if he wanted to.
Right. Well, I mean, but yeah. Oh, what do you think, Fred? What do you think about Jared Stidham? Do you like him, or what do you think? It's going to be trouble?
I've got to see too much like you. I've maybe seen some preseason stuff, but he's good on flavor at
to
this
be
point.
fair, I mean, he could be a really good quarterback, but I just think for this year, I just think it's going to be a struggle for the Patriots. I would they'd have the over under how many wins, over that. I said was around under was it? I think it was 8.5 or something for the Patriots. I would say under 9 wins. I would say more. Again. Oh, hang on one second.
Sure.
I will interject. A lot of the AFC East has a tough schedule this year. I think the Patriots are the most toughest, but I think most in the division we're going to have a very similar schedule with maybe a few games here and there that are a little different. So realistically, who's to say most of this AFC is not 9-7 or 7-9? Those could probably get to 10-6. There's potential there to be at least 11 plus greater. But this is where I had the debate with Jimmy on the last podcast because we're facing a lot tougher opponents. Not to say that we can't win. We've upgraded some pieces. I get that. I think that's going to be the key thing. I wouldn't put him past Sam Darnold and that organization. Miami, you don't know with Fitzpatrick, but I mean,
Or Tua, whoever they get, yeah.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
Herbert.
If I were Miami, I would be taking Tua, even though with that hip injury, that's definitely a concern. I'd be taking Tua, so you wouldn't give the Patriots Tua. You'd be giving Patriots Jordan Love or Jared Love or however you want to pronounce.
No, it's Jordan.
Yeah.
Love.
Jordan Love, yeah. I would not give the Patriots any advantage in this draft. I would not if I were any of the AFC East teams.
Are you doing the loser sign?
No, it's
What are you doing?
it's Jordan Love, Jared Stidham, Josh Allen.
That's the loser sign.
No, here's the J sign. A bunch of J's in the AFC East going on here. So Josh Allen, it could be Jared Stidham, and then
Jar Jar Binks from Star Wars, who gives a crap.
Hey, so what do you? Oh, by the way, quick side note. Sorry to interrupt you guys. What's the first thing you're gonna do from those things I got you? Did you see any of the things I got you, or did you not open it yet?
We haven't opened anything yet, but we're gonna just steam clean it because it's
sanitize with the Clorox.
What's up?
Nothing. We're just gonna clean,
Okay.
sanitize during this pandemic. Do the appropriate steps.
Oh, by the way, how's your mom doing at the pharmacy? Is she doing okay during all this stuff, or?
You're doing okay. All things considering. So
Yeah.
now, for side note, normally in this show lately, we would have some guy do promos on or advertisements during the show. So for comical relief and for Justin Sweeney, Tim Hortons Coffee, the best coffee in the USA. So,
More like in Canada.
What time did you guys go to Tim Hortons?
no, Dad got us about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So I didn't go to Tim Hortons today.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah.
I'm making a lot of coffee at home. So.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Why
Yeah.
does it like I'm sitting? Oh yeah, I'm in a recline chair. It looks like my head's tilted back, and I'm like,
I should be in a recline chair.
Yeah. So what are you guys doing tonight? Are you just watching anything, or just are you going for a walk or something?
I'll go for a walk. But I was watching the I know, but you watched. I watched the first two parts of The Last Dance, 30 for 30 on Michael.
That was a great. That was great. Did you like that?
Yeah, that was a great entertaining television. Yeah, kind of interesting. They set up the back around the 97, 90. There's a lot. Couple things are interesting. First, they had a lot more media access to the players than they did, unlike they do now. You know,
Right.
now and then Scottie Pippen, kind of highlight his background story, and then interesting stat, he was the 122nd highest paid player in the NBA at that time.
Right.
And was traded. I'm like, that does not make sense there. He's this kind of, the other thing in the 60s with Michael Jordan load man. They call it load man, but when he got injured in the second season, and then he played like 14 minutes a night for regular season, they somehow snuck into the playoffs here. But going back, like the time limit, that sounded a lot like with Zion Williamson. That kind of so that kind of like that's like what the Pelicans are doing. Zion Williams too was the limit restriction because with the ankle. Now, not the same injury, but it's very similar here. I mean, I do think that Sky should have been paid more. Let's just be honest here.
Agreed. Yeah. Did you watch it, Fred, last night by chance? Did you watch the 30 for 30?
I watched a little bit of it. I think towards the end. I didn't see the full thing. I'll have to re-watch it.
But yeah, definitely for those you haven't watched it, check out the first two parts. Episode 3 and 4 will be next on.
You know what? You know what else I watched? And I know you guys have seen this. The two Bills, they had the 30 for 30.
Yeah, I've seen that one before. You rewatched it again?
I actually hadn't really watched it all the way through. I watched it this week when I had obviously we all have our downtime now. But it was actually pretty interesting. I thought, like, Belichick has never really changed. He's always been the same kind of guy, honestly. So no one is like, everyone is kind of always replaceable. So I mean, but it's interesting with Bill Parcells, great at football coach, but it's like you see the toll it can take on you having to coach a team like that. Or just even in football in general, it's such it's fun, but it's such an exhausting process. But that's crazy. That's crazy how he's with the Jets, and then that just all backfired. So kind of interesting.
All right, gentlemen.
Yes.
So moving along here, we are going into the Bills mock draft. Emerson, I think you did your research on a few players. Tell us a couple of players that you think could the Bills potentially draft.
One player is he might drop, and I read this in the paper. I don't know if he's going to be a first rounder, but let's just say hypothetically he drops. There was one guy. His name is J.K. Dobbins. He's a receiver out of Ohio State.
Oh yes, yes.
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, he was out with what was quarterback again for Buckeyes? Remind me.
Oh, you mean Justin Fields, or are you talking
Yes,
Dwayne Haskins? Yeah.
He loves
So
his Ohio State.
yeah, I think just adding a good speed guy. Did a lot of special teams, but they would like kind of throw him a lot in motion, and like they'd throw him at the running back spot. They put him in the slot. There's a lot of good things that you could use with some like skill players, and I think we're going to need that with, obviously, as you said, Fred Dawson Knox and Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley. I mean, it's kind of nice because like if you can add some of these guys, it'll kind of take the pressure off of Josh Allen. And I think I kind of noticed that, like when you watch that wild card game against the Texans, certainly he had like Beasley, but at the end of that game, like they were kind of having to rely on Allen to like carry the load and improvise and stuff like that. So I think adding just like a little extra skill player or two, maybe not another running back, but you could, like I said, you can do that late in the draft to pick someone up from like a very small school and not have to pay him as much. That's just adding like I think the skills positions and like someone to maybe go second to Singletary. I know he struggled with some fumbling issues, but he is a rookie. He was at the time a rookie at the end of the day, so you can't really fault him too much. But just having a little extra go-to is always going to be key. So I'd love to see. I mean, the defense is great. I feel like they're in a good position, but I would love to see the offense, like with a J.K. Dobbins, take like a step up this year, and we'll see what happens after that. So we'll go from there.
Another guy I had, the quarterback for Alabama, also brother of Stephon Diggs, Henry.
Trevor Diggs.
Trevor Diggs. Okay, Trevor Diggs. I'm sorry. I get, but Trevor Diggs is the quarterback.
Trevor Diggs, yep.
Biggs, I think that'd be a great addition to the defense. I know you mentioned offense, but that'd be you can have the Diggs brothers play in Buffalo. But I think obviously Jordan Phillips, Micah Hyde, but I think the caliber of Trevor Diggs would be that. I wonder if anybody out of the first round could drop into from the first round could drop into the second round that could, like you said, J.K. Dobbins would be one of them. But I wouldn't be surprised if they trade. There's reports of Cardinals wanting to trade both their first round picks. So I would, if the opportunity arises, I would like to see the Bills trade back into first if possible. If not, I think. Fred, do you have any guys on your radar?
I told you I came prepared.
So you did get prepared.
I want to hear what you guys have to say before I get into the whole 4 mock drafts I wrote down. So I'm going to start off on the first one with the CBS thing. Curtis Weaver.
Sure.
I believe they have been ranked at number 50. And like let me see edge players. I'm pulling up right now. 52. They have them ranked. There's a couple of just Yuki, Tara Lewis, and Curtis Weaver. So that's just so. I'm reading off what Tara Lewis right now. He has an A6 rating. He's long-limbed after who can win with speed or power, flexible on the edge, can drop into coverage. There's injury concerns. Sometimes this is what CBS is saying. He just sometimes disappears for stretches and needs to get improvement off of blocks. So, Curtis Weaver. I think WGR had an article on this too about Curtis Weaver, but I think that he might be a steal of the draft, even though, like a lot of players, they're going to point out their weaknesses. Level of competition doesn't possess a lack of like traits, needs improvements on, but he has uses his hands well. He's able to drop into coverage. So that's my pick at 54 for CBS. I have Zach Moss at running back at 86. Logan Wilson out of Wyoming. He's a linebacker. Another running back of 169 who's that could be good in pass game. Antonio Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
And 188. Brian Cole the second. He's a safety. He's comparable. Micah Hyde. Another edge at 207, Jonathan Garvin. And then at 239, for 7th round for the CBS, not necessarily at what they had, but what I wrote down is Kendrick Rogers, wide receiver. So that's first round. That's my first mock. So for my second thing, I have June Awkward, edge. 86 at Brian Edwards at wide receiver.
Yep.
128 at Reggie Robinson at cornerback. 167 at Jacob Phillips, the linebacker.
Okay.
180 is a future replacement backup, James Morgan, QB. At 207 at DeMarcus Akey, cornerback. And I have Lawrence Cager at 239, the 7th round. For my third round, I took a tackle. Lucas Nang, offensive tackle. 86 is Cameron Dancer at cornerback. Chauncey Rivers at 128. Stanford Samuels as a safety cornerback. Javon Leake at running back. Wahoo Betiku at defensive outside linebacker. And Legere Sneer cornerback. That's the Walter football. And then I do a little bit of a mishmash because I'm going to have the Bills trading up in the second round to number 35. So we're doing a 54 and 128 and possibly maybe a 2021 pick. I have them selecting Denzel Mims, wide receiver. At 86, I have them selecting Eno Benjamin, running back. I have the Bills moving up 5 spots, so they give up the 167th and 188th pick. I have them selecting Kenny Willis, edge, and then 207, 239. I have 207 Shaquille Quarterman, linebacker, and 239 Miles Jones, safety.
Pretty good, friend. Pretty good. Very good. What do you think? Who was the quarter? You mentioned a quarterback, right, at one point, right? Who was that quarterback?
I believe James Morgan.
Oh, is he from Florida International?
Let me check.
Yeah.
I would see more like a backup role. I think that's what really,
That's what I have.
probably a replacement for Mac Barkley down the line here. Josh Allen's cleared the number one serve for now. For now, I don't. This is more like a
Florida International. He's
You're
a
right.
6'4". We were talking about WGR 552 or some other thing where some mock draft were, and I kind of agree with them. The one thing I will say is that now you might not take running back if you somehow sign or trade for, because there were recent discussions of who am I thinking of, Jacksonville Jaguars or
Oh, the
running
Gardner
back?
Michigan.
No,
Gardner Michigan. Oh, Nick Foles. Nick Foles. Yeah.
Oh, not Nick Foles. I'm talking about running back.
Say again.
I just saw a Twitter post about that somebody might be able to trade a running back to make sense for the Bills.
Oh, Leonard Fournette. Leonard
Yeah,
Fournette.
Leonard Fournette. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of a risky move to me. I mean, I don't. I mean, with with the thing, I don't think anybody would want that.
It wouldn't be a day two. It would not.
Yeah, but who would want to take his cap hit?
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. I'm not saying that they will do it, but I think if you're looking at running back, you're looking at more of a downhill running back that can also participate in the pass game. And I'm going to throw it to you. who do you think might fit that? Would it be the second or third or later rounds? Do you have an idea in mind?
Jimmy, what do you think? I'll let you take that one.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Repeat the question, Fred.
So, did you look up anybody in the like as far as running backs? Do you know? Have you seen some of them? Would you what would you who would you pick? Do you have any inkling?
Um, I, I really don't. I didn't really do too much research on this one. So. Oh man, you got me on that one.
Is it?
I need to do more research on that one.
This was last night. I told you to do your research.
Oh yeah, you're right, and I failed.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, yeah, afraid all the.
Remember, loser.
I'm the one who gets the loser side. Thank you on that one. But yeah, we all doing fun. So, but yeah, let me see. I'll see. Let me look up the mock draft here, and I'll see which one I can find here. I'll let you two. Well, I'll do a little bit of research right now while you two figure this one out here.
All right.
Denzel, man, go ahead. Throw anything out there. Make a case. Make a case, sir.
Let's see. Well, I don't know. Let's what happened with Frank Gore, by the way, he's done, right? Is he retired? Have they moved on from off of him, I'm assuming at this point?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, with I didn't look up too much on the running backs, but I'm sure they've got to find someone that'll be like kind of it's got to be second, maybe third day, but running backs, yeah, probably second day, yeah. I'll ask you this though: do you think any chance that they could use Josh Allen a little bit like Lamar Jackson? I'll throw that question back on anyone who wants to answer that. But do you think there's any chance they could start using him more like what they did with Lamar Jackson if he has to? I mean, I think he's built for it and stuff like that, but there's always that risk he's going to get hurt and all that stuff. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Any chance?
I can see it in spurts. I don't think Lamar Jackson. There, I can see similar, like you said, some similar to Lamar Jackson. I don't think they could probably use it all the time necessarily.
Right. He's not built that way. Yeah.
And it's stable running the offense. I think you got your obviously you can do a lot more what you did with the Patriots with those tight end sets or wide receiver sets. Like, and I think you can use them in the run game. I'm not denying it. I just think if you need someone down heavy on the cheap, if you're going to trade up the draft, you could look at Jonathan Taylor. But yes, again, DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, Cam Akers, I think requires Clyde Edwards up to Zach Moss. So anywhere from 31 to 88, I would say at this point. Now, having said that, there was talk of Keyshawn Vaughn. I think
who's that?
He's a running back from Vanderbilt.
Okay.
Again, I'm looking at CBS's thing. ESPN, you got to be a subscriber to get all the information. Drives me nuts. Can't even get the information up there.
Okay. So on Bill's wire here, where there's so Zach Moss from Utah to 5'9", 223. So he would probably fit the type of a downhill runner.
Yeah.
Also Antonio Gibson from Memphis. They're a little bit taller, but he ran a 4.39. I'm just reading off this, so that just shows how my research is.
Yes.
It seems like one way he's talking. So, and I think the Bills can address wide receiver in any round draft. It might be a deep draft, depending. Some of these players are going to, a lot of these players have to find the right system. I think the Bills can be able to take a a flyer on a wide receiver in the later rounds. Um, be- Now, I think they still need a tall wide receiver. Um, that's why Kendrick Rogers, or like at least over 16, who might have speed explosive. They still may need to learn route running certain things, but the explosive and the wide range catch and the bring balls in to get better 50-50 contested balls. So that's where I stand, man. Now, you know, Jerry Hughes will be off the books at some point. You're gonna have to look for replacements for edge because they were racking on the outside rushing to rush the quarterback. That's been prominent. You know, with injuries to the former Redskin player.
Okay, a little bit, yeah.
That we signed, and I think you're going to Rochester Tech. You got to pick on the left side. I think Cody Ford will improve, but you need some more bolster on the edge, outside. You know, obviously you're going to want more in the passing and the reception game. And I think just you're trying to build holes and also players that can grow into something. Maybe not necessarily start right away, but be more of a rotational player, special teams player, and eventually turn into something more than what they were originally projected. I think that's the goal because we filled a lot of holes in off season. So I think this year is going to be best player available. I think Jimmy alluded to it earlier, but you're looking at best player available. So
True. Hey, let me do some research a sec. Something. Let me look at some of the bills here. If I can find some stuff for you. We can take a pause if you guys want. A second, I'll just look up some information for you.
Yep, I will mute Mike for a moment. And I'm not going to remove from screen, but Harrison's taking a pause. He's doing some research. So, anyway, if I'm looking at, okay, WGR has 3 saves, good fifth at 54. I'm not worried about Capital One. They're talking about Kyle Duggar, Anton Winfield Jr. out of Minnesota, and Kayvon Ross from Clemson. So, I mean, like I'm saying, there's a lot that the Bills can go in direction-wise. That's why it's so interesting from the fan specs. It might be hard because we want a first-round pick. However, it seems like it's going to be more of a best player available. You know, you're not being pressured into making a certain need, even though we have needs. It's basically, leaves the bill in a lot of flexible situations. So, gonna go over the free agent sign. Josh Norman is a 1-year deal. Mario Edison's a 3-year deal. AJ Klein, linebacker, 3-year deal. Linebacker Tyler McShiv, 2-year deal. Quinn Jefferson, defensive line, 2-year deal. Vernon Butler, 2-year deal, defensive tackle. Tyron Jones, running back, 1-year deal. Return of EJ Gaines, 1-year deal for Evans, offensive and Evan Baum, offensive. Obviously, we acquired Stephon Diggs in a deal with the Vikings. UFAs, obviously Frank Gore, Chris Paris, Quinn's resign. We don't know about the Jaden Waddle. Obviously, Shaq lost injury with it. Left the team. Shaq got signed by NA, Jordan with Arizona. Bruce Alexander, linebacker, defensive tackle Corey Leger. Julian Sanford, linebacker, Kevin Johnson, signed with Cleveland Browns. Jimmy Marlowe got re-signed by the Bills, Tony Joe. Isaiah Kensey got re-signed. And you know what? I forgot about this. Christian Way. Whenever Shaq comes back out, I think I mean it's Mike. Give me a tight. He's still doing research, but I'm going to ask about Christian Wright because I think he could actually fill a running back need. We saw a lot of them preseason last year, so I think they signed Ray Cloud. But we don't know the future reserve stuff, so.
Is he on the screen or?
He's still on the screen. He's doing the research. I'm just waiting for a visual cue. So I'm just trying to do some interjection. As usual. What are you watching, Bill?
Just watch.
So let's see what's going to go
Here's
on.
what Buffalo Fanatics. Buffalo Fanatics. Did their 4-round mock drafts. Trevon Diggs and Robert Van Jefferson from Florida. Darrellton Evans from. Something I mentioned.
I wonder what Trainwreck Sports is talking about. What was their thoughts on this? So, I mean, you could.
Hey, enough.
I mean, you got a lot of picks. Like I said, you could go either way. You could go either way.
Let's get Everson back on the screen here.
You might be doing something. So you must have, because I don't see him on screen yet. I mute Mike. Keep trying to mess with my hair. But. So, on a side note, we're in a bit of a pause, folks. So, just a few minutes. On the live stream, we will move it.
Hey, Tom, it's a beautiful afternoon out on the roadways right now. Bright sunshine, and we got light to moderate traffic just about everywhere. One place I'm seeing any slowdowns is construction, and that's about it. We do not have any accidents or disabled vehicles to talk about right now. We got some construction going on. Other than that, you're in good shape. WBEN, still about traffic again. I'm Alan Harris. Don't wait, call late.
The WBEN 7 First Alert forecast: cool tonight, breezy tomorrow. Right now, 48 degrees at 4:30. Here's what's happening.
That was local weather by WBEN. What are you looking at in general?
I was looking up. I was watching Rick's history too. It's actually showing a tire which driver he used back in 2002-3, I think.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Emerson here? Did he look like he escaped?
You might be doing some research, WBEN.
Who is showing symptoms can make an appointment. The State Labor Department has unveiled a streamlined unemployment application system.
So,
We're
anyway, what do you think of the iRacing on NASCAR Fox?
Why don't we address the controversy with the Paculas here a little bit
I
here?
don't have all the information, so I don't want to comment too much, other than it's just gone downhill since the Jersey thing. And then with this virus thing, it just
Well, I think we can get more into debate with that on another podcast. But yeah, the more it's this is
this is just turning out to be a nightmare on the Sabre side, and then
in the short term because the pandemic is, and now you hear more about my Alex cricketing.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's just not good. It's just not good look for them.
Well, how do you think they salvage? That I think the question is how can you salvage it? Do you think selling the team would be? Would it come to
a lot of negatives have come out of past year? I mean, other than the LaFontaine deal.
Well,
I think a lot of frustration has been on the hockey operations side of things, but obviously everything boiled over into business, and it just it's spiraled out of control. That's what.
There was an article by Tim Graham in the Athletic. Of course, I'll have to read it, but there's
a 90-day free trial, but I think you gotta pay for it afterwards. You gotta sign an email and everything. I'm considering doing that.
Yeah, because I want that we could have like a discussion on what I mean, but I think the only way that you can obviously you hope that the season still goes on.
It's nice that Kim finally answer questions, but where they were genuine, it's
well right now
there's a lot of heat from the fan base at this point.
But do you think it's enough heat to if this gets worse, maybe then they're forced to sell the team?
That's a tough question.
I'm not trying to suggest that they're going, but what would I still, but could there be a possible another sale where how does that if that were
car shop from your couch with confidence?
I'm not suggesting that's your, but you wonder, I mean, they're obviously forced to make because of the corona, but what if
it's just a bad situation? They've done good things, but it just feels like that everything's so. It sucks.
it's not
It's just not a good look. It really is not a good look.
I agree. I don't know.
If this virus happened, maybe we'd be here prepared by now, facing all these questions. What
The former CEO of the same.
are you talking about Dan DePoli or
No.
other?
Larry Quinn, before President Quinn mentioned it was they were run. So it makes you kind of wonder, I mean, then there was a thing about how so said with their, groping of a, so
That situation.
no, this is like our meeting at a hotel. There was this our, harasser tree I brought up, but
That wasn't that Russ Brandon though.
yeah, it was Russ. But you do wonder,
But that they handle it. They handled that.
they did. Well, yeah, they did.
He got fired, and that they should be commended for that.
I agree, but at a certain point,
But it's unfortunately.
does it kind of feel like they gotten way over their heads with only two teams instead of five teams instead of two,
They
maybe
own more than the Bills and Sabres, and they own a different property.
don't you think that maybe having someone a separate from the Sabres could be a possibility where or maybe a co-ownership with another partner, like
If they do anything, they have to bring in pairs of hockey operations.
I think
And I think they have to bring in someone who can oversee the business side of the Sabres as well, and just kind of leave it there. Because obviously, maybe with the transition came up with Gula, uh, maybe things have gone downhill. I don't know. I can't answer it.
but I think the more we can read up on, I think maybe we can there's we'll try to because again we don't have very much information.
No, we don't. They can do all the articles. Yeah, okay, you can view current and former employees. That's great, but I don't think you're going to get too much of an answer that's going to satisfy the fan base's needs. It's just been so the brand and reputation has been destroyed this past year, and it's a shame. For a guy who loved Perot and the French Connection and professed his love, it's 10 years into ownership, and from the Bills side of things, I mean, again, you're looking at you are looking.
10 years ago you're almost 9 years, and now all of a sudden there's
It's not all of a sudden, but
not all of a sudden, but over time it's like the relationship have certainly gone down have gone downhill. I mean, now how as because the Sabres have not been winning the last, that really adds to the strain of. I actually think it's add to the strain of you know with the organization not winning. This compounds the problem. That's let's just, you know I'll hopefully get Emerson's thought on what. But to be quite frank, I think I think this organization, if hopefully, there's some could be some good from come out of this. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, yeah, right now,
you would hope that it would be the case, but
find some sustainability here.
it's going to take them a long while at this point. It's going to take them a few years. I hate to say it's going to take a.
But I kind of think maybe if you take, maybe then maybe I think not that they're not smart people. I just think that maybe they've been waiting. I think maybe at a certain point you know what, maybe it's not in our best interest to have this. Maybe some give kind of stabilize. Gets can make some you can make better decisions for the Saber side of things. I think the Bills. I quite frankly the Bills seem to be the ones that benefiting right now. You know,
I agree.
I think this if if the Bills haven't got to the playoffs the last 2-3 years, wouldn't we be having the same conversation with the Bills as well as the Sabres? Let's just be honest here. The Bills. I don't. I think Shabir brought the. That's what's sort of missing. Is that there's been some strides, but it really has. This is just kind of bad decisions, bad management, a lot of things where this. Again, I don't want to suspect. You know, it's hard to say when you're not on the inside and totally know what's going on, but I think I think this is kind of used at a bad luck, and you wonder if I'm just wondering if I'm just wondering if when the next if there's another story that comes out, you know, how's that going to put pressure next story, and then it's going to create even more pressure on the Bagulas because now how are they? I like crooked. My neck looks crooked. We're still waiting for Emerson here.
Yeah. I just subscribed for 90 days of the Athletic. Um, I think we'll cover that on another podcast.
Yeah, that's how I was.
Forward.
Just a message and see if he's ready here.
Yeah, I did text him. He's taking a break, so
Well, he's been taking a break.
yeah, I know. Let's see if Sarah's on. We'll just
We can do stream for a nerd.
yeah, I'm just trying to see who. Let's see if I can send a link to Cerny. I need some interjection. What if he's teaching? So I'm just throwing this in. I'm just going to send a link to the podcast sim if anybody wants to join on, just to give me filler time. So I sent Cerny for the podcast link. Sim, who's barking? How you doing, Emerson? If you're you might be doing research still. I don't know. Let's see. I had another chat with the group chat with Quig and them. And doing some Zoom things.
What?
It was a late one last week. We had a group chat last Saturday night. You went to bed.
Did you? Fred, did you get the Are you talking to Emerson?
I have his mic unmuted, but I don't hear anything. So, just if he, so I let him hear us, so he can, once he wants to jump back on, that's jump back on. So, let's see. What did you send me a picture? Oh no, that was something else. Let's see what. Oh, they're talking about the United with Gold and a tension between Jags owner, I believe Tony Khan, or who's also president of All Elite Wrestling. So I don't know too much of the situation. I'm reading up on it, but I'm wondering if Conor Jaguars. There's been tweets about him saying, telling Tony Khan to stop hiding. And with Tony Khan, he's not hiding, he's in isolation. He's there's a lot of heat between the two. I could go on, but you can read the tweets.
Here between Khan and the Jaguars?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh man, like oh wow. I mean
It seemed like Tony Khan was a good guy, but I think it's just personally, this is like business stuff.
We don't know that situation either.
We don't know the situation between those two fully, just because it's on Twitter. Mikel Gregor Edward got signed by the Blue Jackets. I think.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it on the stream, but I talked to you before the stream.
Yeah, I know.
So, yes. ESPN, NFL and ESPN's reporting 8 minutes ago. This is, I mean, come on. Hopefully NASCAR can come back. There was talks about the North Carolina speaker urging the governor to hold the race for the Memorial Day at Charlotte with no fans. I'd be fine with that. I'm just throwing the treat sheets.
Well, yeah, I think no fans is the way to go at this point.
The Senators, Ottawa Senators have a new president of hockey, business operations of the Ottawa Sun. Anthony not of the Ottawa Sun, but Anthony LeBlanc. So.
Well, yeah, I think probably I would see a similar. We could see a similar move where, I think like you said, the Sabres need to decide. I think kind of fix the culture as well. Such as, again, we're still waiting on Emerson to see.
Yeah. Let's see. Also, I gonna apply for training like sports. So. I'm down to 38%.
Get your charging cord, Fred.
Yep. Gonna upload my resume. Well, I'm thinking about it. Sending it to them. So we're running on fumes. Let's see. If I send, let's see if I just send it to him, see if he's interested. Just trying to figure out. He's taking him. He might be done. Are we losing the internet?
No, I'm not.
I'm just getting the scroll thing. So I'm just gonna. Oop. Okay.
We all lost internet for a moment.
So
Give me a
guys,
second. I'm gonna move out of the. I'm gonna stop here for a moment. So anyway, I'm gonna plug in my list for a moment. What a
good deck that you watch lately.
there you go.
There.
All right,
Right.
Jimmy, keep the ball rolling. I'll be back in a moment.
Still weighing 9% at the moment here. Well, so yeah, so address the status. We'll do a State of Sabres podcast on a future ups. So here,
He might have disconnected. I think looks like he disconnected. So, that might have happened. So that's okay.
resend the link.
Maybe not.
I'm gonna leave him. Not gonna leave him high and dry here.
No, he might just
He had stuff going on.
yeah. So anyway, we're gonna cut it short. Not short. We're just gonna cut it. I'm gonna see if anybody wants to join. Just wait on it. So, I'm gonna do a promotional fund for Garrison Newkirk on Network Me. He's just uploaded both of us on the sofa. Episode 118. Check out Mr. Garrison 986. Sorry, 96. And I think I'm gonna call it. Thank you for joining us. Oh, it's my mic. It must be going off your mic. Ha ha. Okay. Yeah, that's how I lost in my case. So
I'm gonna try to send the link one more time. I'm gonna assume that he's done, but
I don't think he is, but
looks like he. All right. We'll see. I'll get a feeling. Every something. If he might, not bash anybody, and just I think the news says trying to take a pause, so I didn't know how long it was going to go on. What else can I say? This is boring. I'll admit.
Jimmy,
This is boring.
No kidding. No.
What are you looking up, Jimbo?
I'm not
the
really.
show's not boring. This is the part where, we
Didn't think we were going to run into this issue. But hey,
shit
yeah.
happened.
Ooh, somebody outside there. Somebody outside, ripped up the floor. My cat wants to jump on me. Okay. There's, I guess, another left bridge. They shine out in both their men's and women's hockey program.
Who was?
Lethbridge. University of Lethbridge.
Wow. Up in Canada, right?
Yep.
Up in Canada. Magic Cups. Marbles might I have a. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to read rumor and innuendo. So, Raw's on the 9 tonight, 8/7 Central. From the performance center. I can't wait for the Xbox Series S to come out.
Can't reach him? Or
I think we're gonna. Thank you for trying, I guess.
Hope to see you guys soon. Like and subscribe to the channel.
Oh,
You said,
um, yeah. Anthony just texted me. Yeah, he just texted me, so yeah. I think he's done. So
okay. Well, tell him thank you for being on the podcast, Steve. Yeah, we want to thank Emerson for his time today.
He just said he wasn't feeling good. We're going to resume tomorrow or Wednesday.
Absolutely. So we will continue with this discussion on tomorrow or Wednesday of this week. So we will, again, we want to thank him for being. We'll have him back tomorrow. Hopefully, he feels better.
Okay. Talk to you guys soon.